Thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation. I was unable to be here due to other commitments, but I would still like to share my project with you. My project is Money Down the Drain, Mastitis in Dairy Cattle by Ian McClellan. The Canadian dairy industry is well known for excellence. The industry accounts for more than 22,000 jobs across Canada. The Atlantic provinces are home to 5% of all Canadian dairy farms. Farms observe strict quality control standards to ensure both good quality and reputation. Herd health is of great importance to the success of the industry. One of the most common and costly diseases in dairy cattle is mastitis. Mastitis accounts for $2 billion in lost profit annually to the industry. The question for my project is a two-part question. The first part is, what is mastitis? Mastitis is an infection of the cow's udder. The infection is caused when bacteria enters a section of the udder through the end of the teat. Cows can be exposed to bacteria in a variety of ways, such as unclean environment or through damaged teats, which allow bacteria to enter easily. Mastitis can result in lower milk production and increase in the somatic cell count. Complications with mastitis may require in-depth treatment methods, which is costly to the farmer in both treatment costs and loss of production. As a 4-H member enrolled in the dairy project, this science fair gave me the opportunity to look at the local dairy industry and see how mastitis plays a role in day-to-day operations of a farm. I surveyed 11 farms in the East Nova region of the Atlantic Holstein Club. East Nova consists of Antigonish, Guysborough, and Inverness counties. I created and distributed my own survey and was pleased to receive timely responses from the 11 farmers. In total, the farms milked 717 cows, with 118 cases of mastitis per year. I noted an average of a 16% rate in mastitis in the farms surveyed. The survey questions that I asked them were, on average, how many cases of mastitis do you have on your farm per year? On average, how many head of cattle do you milk? Do you use the pre-dip or the washing method? What do you use to treat your cows with mastitis? Have you ever tried the mastitis vaccination? If so, did it help with the severity of the condition? What do you use for bedding for your cattle, and how often do you change it? Is your farm tie stall or free stall? Do you let your milking cows out to pasture? Do you wear gloves while milking? And what procedure do you use to wash your milking equipment? Some of the answers for the cases per year, number of milking head, and percentage are in a graph down here, as well in my entire survey results, which you may look at. Farm A noted the smallest percentage of mastitis at only 5%, which is 4 cases per year with 75 milking head. And Farm K noticed the largest at 40%, that is 18 cases per year and 45 milking head. More than half the farms noted a rate of less than 20%. A study done by the University of Prince Edward Island in 2008 showed an average mastitis rate in Canada being 23%. Although my survey data shows a lower percentage, it is similar to the UPEI study and probably less due to the smaller sample size. The part 2 of the question for my project is, how can mastitis be prevented? There are 4 main factors that directly affect the incidence of mastitis in dairy cows. Those being feed, housing, bedding, and pre-milk cleansing methods. The first one would be feed. Proper nutrition for your cattle is very important. A balanced diet rich in selenium and vitamins A and E will ensure good herd health. When cattle are not sent to pasture, the farmer has a greater control of their diet. 7 of the farms I surveyed did not pasture their cattle to feed or graze. and therefore have greater diet control over their cattle, and it is evident in the lower cases of mastitis. The second one would be housing. Studies which compare cattle housing, either tie stall or freestall, tend to show slightly lower levels in the freestall method. If you're wondering what tie stall and freestall are, tie stall is when the cows are lined up next to each other with an aisle down the middle, where the farmer will come down the aisle and come in from behind the cows to milk them. And freestall would be a large open pen with beds for each cow, and the cattle are led into a parlor where they are cycled in and cycled out during milking. My survey also supports that the freestall method results in lower cases of mastitis, as 6 of the 8 farms with the lowest percentages use the freestall method. Although it is interesting to note that the farm with the lowest percentage uses tie stall. The third effect would be keeping cattle and their environment clean. It is important to reducing cases of mastitis. When cattle are pastured outside in an open environment, they are subject to weather changes. For instance, the heat of the summer or the cold of the winter may result in sunburned or frozen teats, which are more prone to infection. When cattle are housed inside, it is important that their bedding is clean and dry, as bacteria are often found in wet bedding and manure. The Ontario Ministry of Agriculture and Food recommends sand as the optimal choice of bedding material to reduce incidence of mastitis. Bacteria does not grow as quickly in sand as in sawdust or shavings, organic materials. And many local farmers use organic materials, as sand is not as practical and difficult to handle in most manure systems. And the fourth effect would be pre-milk cleansing method. And as you prepare a cow to be milked, teats must be cleaned before attaching a milking system. This is standard practice in every dairy farm, but the procedures may vary. Some cleansing methods include pre and post dip, that is an iodine-based solution, dry wipe with a paper towel or cloth, or wash with a cloth dipped in a disinfectant solution, usually with iodine. These procedures involve dipping or wiping the teats before and after each milking. This cleaning reduces teat bacteria and contamination, and reduces the possibility of bacteria entering the teat. Another way to ensure cleanliness is wearing gloves while milking. If the person milking the cows wears gloves, it can reduce the amount of bacteria around the udder. Some additional factors which influence mastitis in dairy cows include genetics. Some cow families carry a higher percentage of mastitis than others, in the same way that human families may have a higher risk of allergies. I've read articles about specific Holstein sires that are known to have low-risk mastitis in their genes. Some farmers take this into consideration when choosing their sires, so they may breed a low-risk mastitis bull with a high-risk mastitis cow family to try to eliminate the mastitis gene in that family. Some of these sires include Lur-Drew Dempsey and Crackholm Fever. Both are well-known sires in the show ring. Also, in discussion with some farmers, it is noted that increased milking improves overall herd udder health. Most farms I surveyed milk twice per day. Farms B and G milk 3 times per day, and I've noted through increased milking that mastitis rates have decreased. All farmers have indicated that it is good practice to keep a cow isolated when mastitis is suspected or confirmed. And also, none of the farms that I surveyed have used the mastitis vaccination. Now that you've learned a little bit about mastitis, there are 2 pictures of udders here, and this would be a healthy udder. It is a nicely shaped udder with the four quarters prominently found, and equal length teats. They don't look swollen or clogged veins. And this would be a udder with mastitis. You can see the redness and swelling of the udder along with the teat and lengthened of teat, along with the swollen and clogged veins, milk veins. And this will bring me right into my conclusion. Dairy farmers can assist in the prevention of mastitis by providing a clean environment for their cattle. Ensuring good herd health will keep a farmer's money from going down the drain.